Hi, Room 3 friends. So today we're going to be reading a book from our Unit 6 called Whose Garden Is This? We've been learning so much about seeds and gardening and growing things. So today we're going to read one of our books called Whose Garden Is This? And the author of this book is Mary Ann Hoberman. And the illustrator, the person that draws all these colorful pictures you see in the book, is Jane Dyer. Whose garden is it? This is a big book, friends. Mrs. McGee went out walking one day. As she was cheerfully wending her way, she passed by a garden with colors so bright. She never had seen such a beautiful sight. How splendid! How pleasant! How simply exquisite! This garden is perfect, but whose garden is it? Friends, this book rhymes. The gardener answers, "It's clear as can be. The garden, you see, belongs only to me. I am the owner and everyone knows it. I am the person who plants and grows it. See how I keep it in first-rate condition? No one can come here without my permission." The gardener bowed and allowed her to pass, then went back to weeding and seeding the grass. He grumbled to see that some lettuce was gone, and stamped on some strange bumpy lumps in the lawn. Then Mrs. McGee heard a sharp little squeak. Up popped a rabbit, who started to speak. "He says it is his, but I cannot agree. If no one can come here, then what about me? I've lived my whole life here. Just see how I dine. He grows me my dinner. This garden is mine." Seems like it might be the bunny's home, too, in the garden. Some bunnies live in gardens. "Not so," sniffed the woodchuck from under the wall. "You eat just a little, but I eat it all. I gobble each bud, and each leaf, and each vine. I eat the whole garden. The garden is mine." "It's mine," twittered the bird from the bird twittered from high in a tree. "The worms in the garden were put there for me." "Not so," sighed the worm. "Why, I make the soil fine, and that's why I put here. This garden is mine." Seems I can't figure out whose garden is it. "It's mine," the wasp grumbled. "I've built a fine nest here. It's mine," buzzed the honeybee. "You're just a pest here. I pollinate flowers. It's easy to see. The garden would not even be without me." "Or me," begged the butterfly, "begging your pardon. I too spread the pollen all over this garden." Seems like they all bring something good to the garden. "It's mine," squeaked the squash bug. "No, mine," whined the flea. "No, mine," snapped the beetle. "It's planted for me." "Not so," the snake hissed from down under a pine. "I feast on you fellows. The garden is mine." He has a crown on his head. "It's mine," groaned the mole. "It's full of my furrows." "It's mine," squealed the vole. "See my bumps and my burrows?" The toads and the turtles, the squirrels and the hares, the chipmunks and crickets all claimed it was theirs. Then Mrs. McGee heard a hum in her ear. Who was that calling her? What did she hear? "It's mine," a plant rustled. "I blossom in season. If this is a garden, then I am the reason." "No, mine," a weed whistled, a wave in the breeze. "You have to be planted. I grow where I please." So now the vines and the flowers say it's their garden. "It's mine," breathed the soil. "That's perfectly clear. Nothing could grow if I were not here." "It's mine," barked the tree, "for I shelter and shade you. As my leaves fall year by year, I have made you." "It's mine," smiled the sun, shining down on the tree. "I bring heat, I bring light. Nothing lives without me." "Nothing lives without me. That is perfectly plain. My showers bring flowers. It's mine," cried the rain. Then Mrs. McGee heard a faint little sound. Something was Something was murmuring under the ground, something that seemed as if she were quite near it, holding her breath. She bent over to hear it. "It's mine," the seed whispered. "Although I am small, I am the beginning, the start of it all. The others may help me, but all of them know, without me to grow, no garden. Without me to grow from, no garden would grow." So the seed is saying that without her, nothing would grow. The sun was now setting, the day growing late. The gardener called as she walked out the gate. Now, wasn't my garden a fine place to visit? But still she kept wondering. Are you still wondering? Pondering. Wondering. Whose garden is it? Whose garden is it? The end. Wow, friends. This was such a great book. So, in the book, Mrs. McGee was being told by the flowers and the bees and the moles and the sun and the tree and the soil and the seeds and everything in the garden that it was their garden. Every single thing in that garden says that the garden was theirs. But I want to know from you, whose garden do you think it was? It seems like every single thing makes this garden special and what it is, and they all brought something. Like some of them brought the holes, some of them made sure the soil was good. The seed makes sure the plants grow. The sun gives it light, the rain gives it water. So whose garden was it? I can't wait to hear from you. Whose garden was it? See you next time.